the June 7th Citizens Advisory Board for Sun Valley. Determination of quorum.
Perfect. Michael Ryder, Chair.
Here.
Heidi Soper. Here. Mary Esposito. Here.
That's you.
Amy Owens. Veronica Cortez is absent at the moment. Carmen Ortiz. Here. And Mark Newman is also absent, but you have a quorum.
Thank you. You all stand and do the pledge of allegiance. Heidi, could you?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
All right, before we start general public comment, actually, everybody in here has been here before, pretty much, but I'll go through it. We have a public comment before and after, 3-minute time limit. We don't care if you rail against the system, but please don't do it on a personal level to individuals. We also have our time is moving for our tab. There are sheets in the back of those that haven't voted for what time of the week. What day of the week, what time you would like to see the cab meetings. If you haven't filled one out online, there's a physical one you can give it to Alexandria here today to help us figure out where our meetings are moving to. Our last Saturday meeting will be our next one, which is in July. I think it's on the 12th. Okay, so with all that said, let's get on with public comment. I already have one that wants to say something. Carol, you're up.
You want me to speak?
Yeah.
I don't need that microphone on.
Well, it is for minutes usually.
All right. Carol Burns for the record. Am I doing it right?
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I object to us losing our Saturday meeting. As far as I understood, the county does not, because it doesn't have any money, does not pay overtime or that type of thing, that the people get time off for coming on a Saturday. We have a traffic problem here in Sun Valley, and if we were meeting during the week, there's a lot of traffic, and it would be difficult for people to get to our meeting. And I think that it should stay on Saturdays, as we have been doing for many, many years. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Any other public comments? Hold on a second, Carmen. Do an elder service request.
You got it. You should go up there.
I'm going to.
Get up there and sit down.
For the record, the new elder services guides just came out and they're all updated. We checked all the phone numbers and made a lot of changes. There's a stack back there. I still have a stack. So anybody who would like to take some, take as many as you want, take for your neighbors. And if you need even more than that, contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know what you made. Oh, yeah.
Somebody else.
Hi, Carmen Ortiz, and I was the former CAB chair for 9 years. And when I originally was appointed to the CAB, we were meeting on Monday nights in the Sun Valley Community Room. The reason the meetings got moved to Saturday is because most of the people that come don't like to drive at night. So I just wanted you guys to keep that in mind. I know if you have it during a weekday, people like me that work can't come, so it has to be on a Saturday or at night. But I just wanted to give you guys some history and encourage everyone, please vote. You can come up here and say, you know what? Monday night works better for me. Thursday night works better for me. You can come up here and start a dialogue. You can say anything you want for 3 minutes of public comment, and you can talk to your neighbors before you decide what works for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. Any other public comments at this time? A reminder, there is another 3-minute public comment at the end of the meeting. So if you find something you want to say, we're not doing a sheet today. So all you have to do is just raise your hand and we'll call upon you. All right, we're going to move on to our next item then, and also recognize that Veronica Cortez has arrived. So that's for the official business. Okay, we're gonna move on to item number 4, approval of the minutes for the meeting for May 3rd, 2025.
I move we approve the minutes with one exception. I gave the wrong date of the Board of County Commissioners meeting for June 13th. It's actually June 17th that we will be on their agenda. The cabs will be on their agenda. So anybody who wants to go Tuesday, June 17th at 10 o'clock.
I will approve the motion with the approved change, or with the change. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, that passes, that's done. We'll now move on to the public safety updates, and I can see that the sheriff's department's not here, so it's only the fire department today.
So I'm using that.
Yeah, it's for the minutes, so we get all of it.
Good morning, for the record, Battalion Chief Derek Reed with Truckee Meadows Fire and Rescue. I'll start off with the stats for May. We had 13 fires, 208 medical calls, motor vehicle accidents 17, hazmat 4, public assist 14, good intent calls 42. And other category, 1, for a total of 304 calls for service in May for the Sun Valley District. As a reminder, we are coming into the summer months, which means there's more activity. People got longer hours of daylight. We just want to let people know that heat-related illnesses usually take a tick up during this time of year. The very young, the very old, or elderly are more susceptible to those heat-related illnesses. So hydration, electrolytes, staying healthy, and getting your rest when you can at night is imperative to the resilience of making for, no problems. Fire causes, because we're going to be in the hotter, drier months, 80% of our calls or more are human caused as far as our wildland element goes. So I just want to put that in your purview. And then Chief Edwards will be starting July 1st, our new district chief. So other than that, does anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Carol Burns for the record. Derek Reed was here last month. Yeah, I believe it was last month. And I asked him about the goats to cut down vegetation. He told me he would contact BLM to get further information. Can you tell me what was found out?
So as far as the BLM, that is more of a state program. It kind of affects the county because it's on the perimeter of the county, but the whole goat fuels reduction, that's one piece of fuels reduction that we look at. We have other programs. We have the Mount Rose crews that are attached to Truckee Meadows Fire. They're somewhat funded by ND Energy. So the goats are one thing, but then we also have the manpower that go out and actually do fuels reduction under power lines. They do the chipping program. But is there something specific you wanted to know about the goats? Because that's not our program, that's a BLM program.
Well, he was going to find out, we're surrounded by BLM land here. And it says he would follow up with BLM to get more information.
Right,
So,
and
I'm asking-
I'm Derek, I'm the person that told you more information. So if you, and I just gave you some information, so if there's something more specific than you want than that, maybe if you can clarify your question on what you're looking for.
Then you are, I want to know about the BLM land surrounding Sun Valley.
Okay,
Can we get some of these people to clean some of that up for us, like goats?
okay. That's a request that has to go through BLM, we can't make that request.
BLM,
But we are doing other efforts to maintain a safe wildland interface fire protection, if you will. And that's through our crews. We don't have goats. That's a BLM program. And they have them located in certain areas that are categorized as high risk. My guess is that they strategically place those goats based on the criteria of what is considered an increased threat. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It's kind of a prioritization triage situation where they only have so many goats and they put them in areas usually on the Sierra front.
Do you happen to know who to contact at BLM?
Just their main BLM Carson City office.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can look it up, the phone number for you,
All right,
as I'm sitting here listening to the rest of the meeting, and I'll get that number for you.
thank you.
Derek, I have a contact with them.
You do?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Carol, if you, get with me after the meeting, I can give you their email of the person that we contact. And 311.
Alright.
Any other questions? Thank
All
you very
right,
much.
thank you.
Okay.
All right, yeah, thank you very much for the updates. Yeah, and I know the BLM is shorthanded. Not a lot of people, that's why we use keep Meadows Beautiful a lot. They do our cleanups around in BLM. We partner with them because BLM is very hard to get them to do things. So just giving you a heads up, so don't get too frustrated because you're getting, banging your head against the wall, trying to get BLM to react, but go ahead and go for it for the community. And we need to do what we can do. Okay, we're gonna move on to item number 6, which is Catholic Charities of Northern Nevada. Which one of you ladies is doing the presentation?
We're coming up together, it's a team
Okay,
effect.
here you go.
We're so happy to be here. Thank you. So I'm Marie Baxter. I am the CEO of Catholic Charities of Northern Nevada. I'm joined today by Ellie, who actually runs our Sun Valley St. Marguerite Support Services. So I'm gonna have her talk a little bit about all the various things that are going on. Just by way of some context, we've actually had a presence in Sun Valley for many years. It's our highest utilization zip code outside of the downtown corridor. So we provide a lot of support largely to families and seniors. There's a variety of different services that we offer, but we originally had a modular building on the St. Peter Canisius property with the Catholic Church, and they received a substantial donation and remodeled their entire church building, which has been phenomenal. I know they just opened. That is the largest parish in the entire Diocese of Reno, by the way. They have more parishioners at St. Peter Canisius than any other parish in the entire northern half of the state, which is sort of interesting. They have almost 3,000 registered parishioners. Yes, so it is quite the force of nature in the middle of Sun Valley, which I love. But we lost our location there because they basically needed all the space for the new building. So we purchased a building on Getford Way. It was a childcare originally, and then it was a homeschooling support center. And we were able to acquire the building when the operator moved away because her mother was ill and she needed to be a caretaker. So we remodeled the building. Inside the building, we have a client choice pantry and we have our St. Marguerite support services. It's been open a little over a year in that location. We've redone the parking lot, we've remodeled the building. We're striving, we actually wrote a grant, keep your fingers crossed, to put in a community garden in the backside of it. That's my goal. Because there's like a little plot of land right behind our building, which would be lovely. So at least in terms of the building and the property, we're not done with all of the things that we're doing to uplift that building and that area. And with that, I'm gonna let Ellie talk a little bit about the services that are in that space.
Good morning, nice to meet you all. So yes, so we are there now in Gepper, as Ms. Marie said, our office. I'm gonna just briefly say what we do. We help with crisis support services, case management, which means if a person comes in need of, let's say, help with a SNAP, you know what is a SNAP? The benefits like SNAP, Medicaid, that kind of stuff, we can assist. We have 4 of us there. It's Nora, Norma, Jasmine, and I. We run the office. I'm the director there. And then we also have the pantry. And the pantry is serving the community Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 to 4. And so when people come there, they look for us and then they say if they're in need of many things, we're there to support them. We can read documents to them. We don't give any kind of legal advice, but we can read to them if they need some assistance because they don't understand. We also help with, right now we're running, we have a little bit of money under Helping Hands through the, it's Catholic Charities USA. And so we're helping with rental assistance as long as we're sustainable. And you have, and if you have a hardship, you come to us and you need some assistance, well, we'll listen to your, problem or situation, and then we'll see if you qualify for some of our assistance. We also are in connection, we are basically the second office. The main office, St. Margaret Support Services, is on 4th Street, St. Vincent's area. As you well know, them is where Miss Marie is. And so we're just like an extension of that office. And so if you need help with let's say, an ID, and if you are, at this time, unhoused, you can come to us and we can send you to 4th Street for you to get some assistance with your ID. We can also help you by giving you, referrals to many other agencies in the community with, because we all get along so well with other agencies. If we can help you with rental assistance, we'll tell you where to go. And if they have funds, they'll be happy to assist you too. Then we also have services for seniors. And I just heard that you have the new brochure for seniors. That's wonderful. We're gonna get some if you don't mind. But we have a person that is our benefit enrollment coordinator. And she can go to your home if you need assistance with, let's say, the energy assistance program, which I also look over once those applications are complete. And she can come to your home and she can help you with your documents too. She can do SNAP and she can do the energy assistance program. And she can also give you lots of referrals if you need them. If you cannot come to us because you cannot drive, you're sick at home or something, we can do that. We can come to your home and we're happy to do that too. Then we also have another office on Moana, Elevating Families. So if you come to us and if you want to talk a little bit more about that at the end.
Sure.
So that's a good program for many families with young kids. And so what else we do there? We work with many, as I said, agencies in the community and we help as much as we can. We are bilingual. As you can tell, I have an accent. I speak Spanish. But we try our best every day, right? In our community here is getting bigger and bigger every day because of language too, but everybody's bilingual there. And we, as I said, we love what we do there. And we're very happy to be part of this community in South Valley. We thank you. I thank you all for that. Thank you.
So our pantry that's located, like Sally mentioned, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 12 to 4. It's what we call a client choice pantry. So it looks like a grocery store. So when you come in, you have a shopping cart, everything is on shelves. It's largely fresh fruits, vegetables, meat, dairy products. And individuals can go through and shop for items that might be relevant to their dietary needs or, that their children will eat, or that might be, especially if you're a senior and you might have some different things you're navigating of, nuts aren't your friend. So, whatever the case may be, but super great, lots of wonderful staff in there and they'll also reach out. So and you can, navigate things. We also have a pretty robust workforce development program, and it's the first point of contact is through what we call St. Margaret Support Services. And we actually have a really nice county grant that's helping individuals right now that if they're looking to go to school or need assistance with finding employment. And so that's kind of the gist of that. On Moana, we do have Elevating Families. It's a poverty mitigation program using mobility mentoring that is designed to sort of break the next multi-generational poverty. And we're doing it in conjunction with the University of Notre Dame as part of a research study in using this very specialized kind of coaching and mentoring. So individuals can connect in Sun Valley and then work through that program as well. And one last thing I want to mention, in our North Valley's office, we actually have an office currently in Golden Valley that we have senior in-home modifications. So we have a grant where if seniors have smaller, like we can't come in and, edge to edge, roof to floor, fix things, but if they need grab bars, if they need a ramp, if they need, their carpet is torn, there's some falls prevention work in that space to help people be able to stay in their residence. And it doesn't matter if you're a renter or a homeowner. There's other programs in the community to do that, but you have to be the homeowner, and that's not always feasible, especially for seniors. So yeah, senior home modifications, all of this information is on our website. We have lots of flyers, but again, if you walk into any of our doors, then we can route you to the different services. So it doesn't have to always be like, hey, find it on an app or find it. We're all about that human connection. Walk through the door and we'll get you the help that you need. So anyway, that's our Catholic Charities in a nutshell.
I have a question
Yes.
for you. Thank you both so much for coming. Heidi Sober, for the record. Thank you. We were there when you opened.
Yes.
We were at the grand opening. The building is beautiful. It's like going to a grocery store. I was so impressed. But I remember seeing one service that I don't think you've mentioned, and I'm wondering if you still have it. You had minor medical,
Oh, yes.
like you could get
Yes, yeah,
vaccines.
we still do
and-
vaccines. So yes, we still have a immunization program, actually for seniors, adults with disabilities and children. So we get free vaccines from the state, and then we have a registered nurse and a medical assistant on staff. So thank you for reminding me, because we're coming into back to school season. So we have clinics for immunizations, starting, in pretty much July and August in particular. But our nurses also do programming at our Sun Valley Pantry as food as medicine. So they're out there providing nutrition education, diabetes education. So they are present in addition to, yes, we can do immunizations based upon what's made available. But yeah, they're phenomenal, Tammy and Angelica, so they're out here quite a bit.
Is
But
there
thank you.
any other kind of medical assistance?
We, that's
Fall down and skin your knee, are they gonna fix that?
No, so we will refer you to Community Health Alliance or to Hopes for the most part. It's just outside of the scope of what we are able to do, but we can do screenings, blood pressure checks, diabetes, questionnaires, and then do those warm handoffs and referrals. Yes, which is fantastic. And then our nurses also do, our nurse and our medical assistants, they also do some limited food box delivery to seniors who cannot get to our pantries. So we do have an in-home delivery program. It's limited because we just don't have a ton of capacity. And seniors, by the way, can come to our pantries twice a month. And so that gives them a little additional access to all the fresh fruits and vegetables, meat, dairy products, etc. So thank you so very much. We're so happy to be in this community. I'm a native and I went to Sparks High, so all the kids that lived out here went to high school with me back in the day. So I have a tremendous passion for this valley. So
I just have one question real quick. Hi, Veronica Cortez. So I've been out here, let's see, my grandparents came in the 50s and then my parents, and so we've always used community resources because we've been those blended families. I was a Virginia Palmer kid, then I got shipped to Billinghurst and I went to Reed, so very homegrown. My daughter's still at Esther Bennett. I work for the school district. We've used Catholic Charities in the past. I'm half Hispanic, I'm half white, we can say American, Caucasian. What is your ratio to Hispanics to Americans like that? Because we're trying to get more involved as a community with our Latinos, with our Hispanics, a lot of Hispanic businesses. So how can we, as an agency or as a group or as Sun Valley, there's nobody here, that's Hispanic, but what is your percentage of Hispanics that use your service? If you could give me that.
It is, let's say, on a daily basis, I get to see 5 Latinos, let's say out of 10, half and half, and in the pantries way more. So it is, the community's coming, they come from the south too, the north, and so we get to see Latinos all day long, every day when we're
So
open.
you can verify that the Latino, the Hispanic community is growing.
It's
They're
growing.
having a presence.
Yes, we
And
are.
they also with their presence have a voice. Let them know that they have a voice.
Yes.
We also have, like she mentioned, the 311 in Spanish now. So that's something that we do need to work together as, because I see that there is that division. And for somebody who's biologically divided, I can't choose. So I have to support everybody. So thank you for what you do. But I have had stories from my mother where she has been discriminated at your services, where Hispanics have been, even privileged over her. That's just my mom personal. So hopefully this is, like you said, a new thing. You can say you weren't there when she did it, but I hope this agency now is working, for everybody. And I love the services that you're doing, and I promote you and I help you, and I'm also a local mobile notary. If you guys ever need it, we'll touch base later and we can add another
Yes,
service to your list.
definitely, and everybody's welcome, Latinos are
Yes,
welcome.
absolutely. As a child, yes, we went to
Everybody
you, so
is,
thank
and
you.
we respect the community equally. Let's
Okay,
put it that
thank
way,
you.
okay?
Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that update. Boy, that's a lot of things you do. And thank you for all of them. If you don't use one, you use the other. And I see some services that I might even be interested in as a senior. Okay, we're gonna move on to item number 7, neighborhood development and hub. That's gonna be you, Alexandria. What you got?
So let me grab it right here. Oh, what? Once it loads, I don't have any upcoming events again for this area. There have been a lot of, projects coming through, and I think that's going to be consistent. Because of a lot of budgetary things that you're hearing out in the community. But if there is any that you want to dive into specifically, I'd be more than happy to do so.
Hi, Carmen Ortiz for the record. So Highland Village 2 has broken ground. And they routinely stop traffic on Highland Ranch Parkway. Any chance we could get an update on that? Like stop to, you're stopped because it's one lane, so you're not going anywhere, and it's all the way backed up to,
7.
past my house. Past my house, it very rarely backs up past my house, but now it backs up past my house.
Do you happen to know the developer of that? Village too?
Ken Crater is our contact.
Okay. I don't have an update right now, but I can grab one and have it ready for the.
Yeah, we'd love to know when we're gonna be done with that underground, on the road, so that it opens the traffic back up.
Okay, and Ken Crater, you said was the contact?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Okay.
It's Ken Crater's content.
okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I find it interesting how they come before us in, hey, this is what we're gonna do. So when did they come, like 2020, right? I think it was 2020. They said, this is what we're gonna do. Now it's 2025, and they just broke ground, and now all these wheels are in motion, and we all forgot that this was on the hub in 2020. So I would really like to see, we have like lots of developments in Sun Valley right now. Let's see, it's the third. This one.
You want me to give the list?
You got the list? Wait, here we go.
I got the list in my memory.
5 Bridges, Valley Vista, Sun Mesa, Highland Village 1, Highland Village 2, Harmony Mesa, Ladera Phase 2, The Ridge at Sun Valley, Caleb Court, Salem Point, Chocolate Drive. Dottie's is going in on the boulevard. So yeah, with these things, we would love an update on what they're at now. I mean, I would, anybody else?
Yes.
Okay.
Carmen, Alexandra, I'm gonna need the list, because I don't have those memorized, so just
Okay,
give me a
got it. I can
copy
give
of
you
that list, I can. Any other questions on the development hub?
What?
Any more questions on the development hub?
I can put one little plug in for the GID. If you come to the general improvement district meetings, a lot of those projects have to go through the Sun Valley General Improvement District for water and sewer. So if you come to those meetings, we have a update on our agenda every meeting for the developments that are going through and things that are going on in our area that we have to deal with at the GID. And that meeting, the next one is this coming Thursday at 5:30 at the conference room downstairs, which you go around back to get to. But I just wanted to add that too, because besides this hub, you can also come there to get other information and stuff. That's how come some of the GID members who are on the cabin, also GID, have the list of what's going on, because a lot of these things, even when they're in the preliminary, like Chocolate Drive has been for a while, we've known about Chocolate Drive even before it came out to the public, because they have to come and kind of come to the water company and make sure that they can even make a project, because without water, you can't have a project. So anyway, back to you, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay, if there's no other questions, and after the meeting, you got some questions about some of the development, you can always ask myself. I'm on the GID board. Carmen's on the GID board, and Mark, who's not here today, Mark Newman.
Well, they didn't mention anything about the question I asked, so that's why I'd like to get the information from.
Yeah, well, and she's gonna, you give her the list, and we'll try to get some of that brought into this meeting, so that this public who doesn't come to our meetings can get some of that information from here as well. Okay, well, then we're gonna move on to Do we have Marlowe's online yet?
We don't have her online, but I do have the update.
Okay, so do you wanna? We have one county commissioner here. We're gonna go to number 8, which is the board of member commissioners announcements and things. Did you wanna say anything, Commissioner Herman? All right, then we're back to you because you're gonna do the update for Marluz Garcia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Alexandra Wilson for the record. I'm speaking as a part of the update for Commissioner Garcia. She wasn't unable to be here. She is really camping with her kids, which is great. Everyone getting out for the summer. One of the updates that she wanted to provide was about the Sun Valley Bike Park. So it was originally designed to break ground this spring. However, they're still finalizing some key components to ensure long-term success and community benefit of that project. And so they're in the final design for updates that will be shared this summer. Groundbreaking is anticipated to be in the upcoming fiscal year, so starting July 1, fiscal year 26. And then construction updates will be posted regularly once the schedule is finalized. So they're still working on it. We haven't forgot about the bike project, so we just want to provide that update. The other update that I have is Commissioner Garcia has donated some district funds over to the I believe it's CSD, if not SVGID. It's going on the upcoming agenda, I believe, on July 10th or July 17th. But it's to sponsor a free swim day for kids on, I believe it's July 3rd, 5th, one of those days.
It's a fifth.
July 5th. Okay, perfect. July 5th, so she's sponsoring a free swim day as well as popsicles for the kids to come out, encourage them to get out in their neighborhoods and to enjoy a little swim time in this very hot climate. In addition to that, we just hosted our Sun Valley Tires and TV cleanup. Thank you, Heidi, for passing out all of the flyers. I believe it was 250 that you had passed out. And we definitely saw that. So we filled up within about an hour, hour and a half. And you would think by now we'd make a dent in tires, and we have not, because we got, the second time we had over 2,000 tires, and I believe we also met that at our current one. So originally we had one 20-yard dumpster out there. We had to call in 2 more. And even in addition to that, we had an overflow of tires. And so we had a generous Sun Valley resident who had a trailer. He took the rest over to Hero Environmental to be disposed of properly. In addition to that, we also handed out over 30 waste management vouchers for individuals that had additional items. We saw a fridge come out. We saw some other random items because they weren't reading the flyer. But they were able to take that out to Lockwood and dump that appropriately instead of out into the BLM land or open land where we see a lot of illegal dumping and target shooting that's happening. But we also collected a lot of TVs, a lot of tube TVs, which are incredibly difficult to get rid of. They're expensive. They cost anywhere from $40 to $70 per TV to dispose of. And so we were able to foot that bill with the help of our sustainability manager and Commissioner Garcia on getting those taken care of. Our hope is to be able to host these types of cleanups twice a year. And a lot of them have been Sun Valley focused, and we'll probably continue to do that just because we've seen such a great response from the community. The one previous to this was our household hazardous waste. So we collected paints, a lot of aerosol. We had, I think, 2-gallon drums or not gallon drums, much bigger than that. 20-gallon drums. I don't know what size they come in. Of oil come through. And so in the future, we'll probably continue to target tires since we're seeing that out in the community. The rumor is that there is actually a tire company that's dumping tires out in the area. And so we're trying to get any information if anyone knows of tire companies that are doing that. We have been just basically highlighted to the fact that a lot of the dumping is commercial. It's not a lot of it, but a portion of it is commercial dumping instead of residential. So we're seeing drywall, we're seeing, people that are repairing their entire kitchen and maybe cutting some costs. So if you guys know anything, please let us know. We just want to cut it down.
Alexandra, where is that? We're like, so that if we're like around, we can keep our eyes out, take pictures and write down like.
So we're seeing a lot of that happen on Chimney Drive.
Chimney, okay.
And so we'll go and clean up, and then a couple days later, we'll see a few more things. KTV just let me know I saw them yesterday at the Sun Valley General Event. Diamond Summer of the Washoe County Sheriff's Office. My son loved the helicopter takeoff. He was so excited to see that. I didn't win anything on the raffle, but that's okay. It was a wonderful event, but they let me know that they've been out there cleaning and they saw just a pile of tires, and it looks like they had all been out there about the same amount of time. They look relatively like used, but not. Like some of the ones we got were actually like shot up and the wires were frayed. These ones look like they were just collected and then dumped out, and so that's why. We're getting that idea that they're being commercially dumped.
Can we put a trail cam out there?
We can talk to the sheriffs. I believe KTV is talking to them about doing that, to see who's going out there and maybe publicize that and kind of, deter other individuals by making that very public on, you don't wanna be this person who got caught dumping, in our area, so.
Thank you, that's
again,
great, thank
Yeah, if anyone has any information, we'd really appreciate it.
Do we have any questions? Carol?
Carol Burns for the record.
Yeah.
The senior swim, is there still
Yes.
the senior
Yes.
swim, when is it this summer?
I don't have the
It's
date off the top of my
Tuesdays.
head.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, 11 to noon.
Tuesday, Thursday?
Yep, and it won't start until not,
The pool doesn't open until next week anyway.
right,
So
but
the week after that.
the week after that it starts.
What's your name for the record?
Cindy Leslie.
Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it. Any other questions?
I just wanna say something about the tires, yes, my name is Veronica Cortez. And I've had people from the community who did go to the tire thing.
Mhm.
And they were very thankful, because I was, I got the Hispanic flyers,
Yes.
so I went out and. I touched base with them, or they would come into the restaurant like, hey, did you make it? They're like, you know what, it was a big help. Because what's happening with that tire company is, they're convincing the Hispanics to rent them space to store tires, and then they stop paying rent. And then these people have these tires in their yard, but we do have the company name, we do have the owner, and we are trying to move forward with. Whatever the next step is, so we do have that information, so thank you for what you guys did.
Yeah, we
That
heard
is a
it
good
was,
deal.
it was potentially one or two, one that was local and
Yes.
another that was commercial, and so
Yes.
we're kind of taking on those leads to see where
Good.
that's, things that's going in. So cleaning it up, we'll just hopefully get to the source. Any other updates or questions rather? Yes,
Well, it was mentioned in the minutes, Ellen Chapin for the record, about the signal allotment, still on. Sun Valley Boulevard, well, actually, it's Clear Acre at that point. And supposedly it was referred to whoever it needs to be referred to, but there's no feedback, it hasn't changed.
okay, I believe Garcia said she was gonna talk to RTC about it.
It's all been taken care of,
Hasn't been taken care of.
Haven't noticed it, maybe they
it's-
said it was fixed, but it's not
It's
fixed.
supposed to have already been fixed. I emailed Commissioner Garcia, she emailed RTC, and they said it was NDOT, RTC and City of Reno. And City of Reno has been out there to fix those lights.
Yeah. But it's
Cause
not
it's,
far.
it's Selmy, was it Selmy?
Yeah, it's
Selmy is.
three signals and that are affected.
Yeah. Supposedly they've been fixed.
Well, okay, it's not. So,
Okay,
if they're, if I have to accept the fact that they
We'll
just
pass
said
the
they were.
information on then.
yes, we'll have the information on.
Okay,
I'm gonna step out of my commissioner hat, even though I'm not a commissioner, I'm gonna step into our staff role. I also did wanna talk about, so the surveys for the new date for Sun Valley Fab. The printed surveys are in the back for anyone that is not able to access it online. If you look at the agenda, there is a QR code, and if you're online, there is a link to take it online. But if you don't feel comfortable, or you're not able to do that, or if you don't wanna use the technology to do so, that's totally fine. I printed out the same survey here in person. Please just turn it into me with your name. So I know that you were able to vote for the new cap date. So it's Sunday, I believe Wednesday, Thursdays were provided. Tuesdays we generally leave because of the Board of County Commissioner meetings. And then as Carmen had mentioned, they were previously Monday nights. I came at the very tail end of that, so it was only the very beginning that they were on Mondays and we were at the Sun Valley Community Center, but. Again, please let us know, let your neighbors know, they can always contact me, I can get them a survey. I put it on the Sun Valley Facebook page, there's 3 of them that I'm aware of, and so I put them on there. Also put it on Nextdoor, for anyone that wanted to take it. So the next meeting is July 12th. We don't do July 5th because of the holiday weekend and a lot of individuals are out of town or plan around that. But I will announce the new date at that meeting and I'll let our cab members know. I'm gonna start to communicate it out, and then the next quarter schedule for all the cabs will be out as well, so everyone can attend other cabs or this one. Yes, question.
Cindy Leslie for the record. I guess maybe I missed why we're not doing Saturdays anymore. Is it because of overtime pay? If it is, can't you flex? Are you salaried? Whatever, if you're salaried, there shouldn't be overtime involved. So I'm not sure, why are we moving from Saturdays?
So the reason we're moving from Saturdays is for two reasons. One is overtime. So what I had talked to Heidi about, I believe we had the conversation over me and Michael. The weekends are straight overtime. It's very difficult for us to flex because we do have other responsibilities during the week. Other cabs, because they are hosted Monday through Thursday, we are able to usually flex that morning, or it has to be within the same pay period as well.
Right.
And so these weekends tend to be straight overtime for our staff. And then in addition to that, we do it for consistency. So all the other cabs are Monday through Thursday and they start around 5:30 or 6 o'clock. That's not to say, and again, with the survey, we don't have to do it at 6, we can do it at 10, we can do it at 12, we could do it straight at 6, we could do it at 5:30. I put a lot of the options on there for anyone who's available. And so we want to not just capture the individuals that are here already, but the individuals that are interested in being part of the cabs that may not have had the opportunity because of the time.
And I can further say, if you can flex your time to come at 6 o'clock at night on a work day, you could flex your time during the week to come on a Saturday. So I don't agree with your argument there. Also, a lot of seniors don't drive at night. So 6 o'clock in the winter time, you're gonna have ice, snow. It's gonna be treacherous for people to come. So I don't see how this is gonna work. And I don't, like I said, I don't agree with your argument, flex time during the week, because you gotta flex off in the morning to come to a 6 o'clock meeting, and you can flex off and still come to a Saturday. That's my argument there, and I don't know who else would agree with me, but
Yeah.
like I said, during the winter time, you're gonna get nobody here because of the snow and ice and traffic. You can't, we're an alternate 395, the boulevard is. So it's like, you can't, good luck getting off at 5 o'clock. If somebody still works in South Reno, getting here at 6 o'clock, it isn't gonna happen.
Well, I appreciate your feedback, and like I said, all the other cabs, we do have 8. The other remaining ones are during the week, Monday through Thursday. We do have attendees that are able to make it. Similar age group, I would say. And they are in areas like Spanish Rings that have similar problems like the Pyramid Highway. And so, like I said, it's up to the community what time they want to meet. We're open to during the week, it can be during the day when it's still light out. We can do alternative things during the winter times. We can change meeting dates or times, or, we can work with our community to make sure that it fits the community. And in addition to that, Sun Valley is the smallest geographically as far as traveling to the cab. All the other cabs have a much larger distance for travel. And that's all the information that I have.
I have a question. Carmen Ortiz for the record. First of all, Cindy, thank you so much for stating that. So Cindy serves every week, every day, basically with the seniors. She's in the senior center every day. She's advocating for fair treatment. She's advocating for decent food. She's advocating for activities to keep them engaged and coming back. So Cindy, you see the seniors every day. Thank you for saying that. So my question is, are we still gonna meet at Hobie's?
Yes, well, that's the idea. So
Okay.
once we get the schedule, I'll link in with them to make sure that.
That was part of the problem going back to the community center. There's no nights available. They're taking up like Taekwondo and Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. And that. Okay, and then, so when are the surveys due? When do you want them in?
So, if you could have them in by June 22nd.
Okay,
To me. So you can, online is easy, I get the automatic notification. But if you want, you can bring them to the office, or I can come out and grab them. It's up to you, I can work with
the
you.
electronic one, let's push that out to the Highland Ranch HOA. Because I wonder if there are some people there that wanna come but don't come because it's on Saturday, it's on Nextdoor, it's on the Sun Valley Facebook page. What about the Highland Ranch community, Highland Ranch Facebook page? And then I also wanted to comment, if it gets moved to a night and a weekend, I am looking for a bigger car and I will gladly come pick anybody up. But it's four-wheel drive and I will personally come get you. So I'm sorry, we are losing our Saturdays. We've been here, gosh, how long have we been here? For over 5 years?
Police, it's
Yeah.
been, just under 3 years.
Okay, well, it feels like a long time. We love it here. Another thing, what would happen is when we had at the community center, if someone didn't show up with the keys, we couldn't get in, but we can always get in now because it's open. So we are so grateful to be here. So thankful for police, giving us the space because they're vested in our community. So thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree, Police has been an excellent partner. Yeah, it's been awesome.
No, no question. I'm just getting ready to take the microphone back. Okay, so we can proceed really quickly. I have a few board comments and then I know I probably haven't, but. He always does.
When's the election about?
A couple, I don't know, and that happens. When is election of officer? In July. So I am probably saying my farewell to you as cab chair. Because I am going to pass the torch off in July and nominate somebody else as cab chair, just to let you know, just ahead of time. Right now, I will let you know tank cameras. They're gonna put cameras on the water tank, stop the chimney. We were in discussion with Jadley. I don't know where you were at that meeting. Maybe it was a.
NRPS.
Yeah, whoever, yeah, but you probably missed the fact that the sheriff department wants us, cameras there. They also want access to our cameras in our parks. That we have installed already to keep graffiti down. We have cameras in our parks and lighting in our parks. And they want to partner with us and have access to those cameras, and we're in the process of providing that. So I wanted you to know that the tank cameras are to help with the dumping. And that's something that we're working with the sheriff's department with, how that happened. And for those who want the updates, that is June 12th, GID meeting 5:30, that's the next one. If you want to see developer updates, we do every meeting, every month, we do developer updates. What's going on, what's the hot spots? Half of our agenda is about development anyway, in one form or another. Whether it's equipment, whether it's infrastructure that we're having the developers pay for. But if you want an update of the struggles we have to make sure that developers at least pay their fair share out here and we don't get stuck with the bill, come to our meetings and watch us in action. It gets to be boring sometimes, there's a lot of numbers, but that's what we're there for, is to try to protect the public from some of this stuff and to try to make sure to keep our water bills and sewer bills down as low as possible and our water as clean as possible. Other than that, I think I'm gonna pass this off to Heidi now, because I know she's got a list over here.
Carol Burns, for the record, may I just ask, that development that's gonna go in on Gandini, is that gonna be GID?
No,
No.
well, it'll be GID partially. Tumwa has the water, but they have to go through our sewer interceptor for sewer. And yes, we're in negotiations with them and we haven't got a satisfactory contract yet. So we're working on, they're working on it. We have requirements because we have to do certain things with the sewer capacity here. And they have to, like everybody else, have to make sure that our infrastructure is able to support that capacity. And it's not free. They gotta put some skin in the game. So we're in negotiations with that project. But as I can tell you, as of now, nothing has been agreed to yet for the Gandini project. So that gives you that update. Okay, Heidi, you're up.
Heidi Soper for the record, I don't have it. I just wanted to give you guys an update on Chocolate Drive. For those of you who have seen the blue and yellow flags, they are marking water and gas lines. They're also out there doing soil samples. You'd think they were digging wells with the equipment they have out there. It's unbelievable. I'm hoping that with this tariff on steel and aluminum, the price gets so high they can't afford to build them. Wouldn't that be a real shame? Yeah, well, I would just be heartbroken. So anyway, they don't even have a business license yet. So they can't do anything except what they've done. You might see the flags go down West Effort and Fourth Street, and that's in their little project as well. You're also gonna see flags and paint on Sun Valley Boulevard. And that's pertaining to the RTC program project. Whenever that starts and whenever we get money, who knows, but that's what that's for. Also, June 17th is the Board of County Commissioners meeting on which we, the cabs, are on their agenda. I don't know if they're discussing things they'd like to change or if they're voting on them. So anyway, if you'd like to go, you can check their minutes and see what number we are. Usually we're at the very bottom.
Yeah.
So we get to spend the day and lunch there. And that's it. I'd like to thank everybody who came. I wish more people were here, but I think there's a lot going on sports wise out here today. So thank you, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it.
Any other board members need to make a public comment or a board comment? I'll make one other one that just because I have information to add to what she has. What's being studied down the boulevard is utilities and drainage. For that project, they have to get a bunch of things in line, so they know how much it's gonna cost to move the utilities. And to bury those ditches and all that kind of stuff, and that's what those things are going on, that's what the survey teams are out doing. I know that because I had a meeting with the GID chair. Not the chair, well, Susan too was there, but with Chris, the GM of the water company. Because we have people asking questions about it all the time. When those things happen, it's like when the car wash went in. It's not even on GID area, but we got asked what the heck that project was and why it was causing trouble, so we had to reach out and find out what that project was. So we can, tell the people who vote for us and our constituents out here in our community, neighbors, what's going on when we have the information. So we reach out usually to get that information for you, even if it's not in our area. And Carol keep asking me about Dandini. I'll keep you informed as soon as I know anything about Dandini. It's one of those things that's in progress like chocolate. Who knows? I don't know how long it's gonna be. All right, so now I'm gonna stop talking and you guys get to start. Moving on to item number 9, general public comment. How many people want to make a comment right now? Come on, Carol, I know you do. You already told me you were gonna.
Okay, Carol Burns for the record. This last week I called the highway department or the road department in Washoe County because I walk my dog every day. I walk him on Rampion, which is a busy street, and the grit on the side of the road gets worse and worse as time goes on. And to get a street sweeper out there to clean up our ditches and the gravel on the road, so I don't fall down and have to sue the county. A gentleman called me back, his name was Donald, and he said, well, I'll tell you, he said, we have one sweeper man for the sweeping in all of Washoe County. One person. All right, I don't know how they think things are gonna get done if they don't hire working blue collar people. I think that all the people in the, what would you call it, upper echelon of Washoe County should take a 10% salary cut. Okay? Then maybe we'd have a little extra money for people that need to do the work that we need in our communities. The fire chief, you mentioned he was starting out. The fire chief is starting out at $300,000 a year. Now, I don't know anybody in the world who's worth $300 a year. I'm sorry. I don't. I never had that kind of money. And I raised 2 kids, bought my own home. I own my own place, I support myself. And yet these people are making monstrous salaries. It's unbelievable to me. If we were rich, it'd be okay, but we are, we don't have enough money to cover our budget for this year. And they keep hiring people and these monstrous salaries. I want some street sweepers. $20 an hour? How many, we could hire a couple dozen of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Anybody else want to make a public comment during the last,
Can I just mention
Last
something
one.
on there?
wait, you can do a public comment? Did you, Mr. Board,
That's fine.
Carmen Ortiz for the record. Thank you for mentioning those flags on Sun Valley Boulevard. I just wanted to say, it's really sad that now we're putting in sidewalks and it's a racetrack on Sun Valley Boulevard. It's really not gonna be safe enough to send your kids down the sidewalk on Sun Valley Boulevard. We're a day late, $1 short, but thanks.
Any other public comments out there? Okay, Cindy.
Cindy Leslie for the record, just, like Carmen mentioned earlier, I do a lot with the seniors. So last Friday of every month, we're doing a potluck. So it'd be nice to see some new faces, bring some food, meet the other seniors. At the community, center, yep. Last Friday of every month.
Thank you.
What time?
You had other stuff, you had ice cream and all that stuff.
Oh, we're having an ice cream social this Friday. We 10:30-ish.
Same with the potluck.
Okay, Veronica wants to make a public comment.
Hi, Veronica Cortez again. Thank you, Carol, for what you had mentioned. I've been to a couple of county commissioner meetings. And the county has requested, his name is Ron Brown, he's the county manager, for an open checkbook. And he keeps pushing back the date, so I will keep you updated on when the county gets that open checkbook. Because yes, we do have a right to that, and that is something that I'm pushing for, so thank you.
Yep,
From Judy Jensen online.
Judy Jensen online, yep. Sure. Still.
Miss Jensen asked that I read her comments into the record. So Judy Jensen, what was that? Oh, sorry. So her first comment was, for the record, I agree with keeping it on Saturday. And then, she later provided that Waste Management also sent postcards this week on household hazardous waste appointments with, Graymar Environmental. And thank you for procuring the microphone for today's meeting. No problem, Judy. She noted that she can help facilitate, getting the Highland Ranch Facebook page for the promotion of the survey. And then Highland Ranch Homeowners Association are also having yard sales today, at least 15 homes. The information is available online on the HOA website, as I was looking through that. And then her and I are gonna connect after this meeting about the HOA to get that survey out. And then I did also want to say that Open Checkbook, Washoe Checkbook is already online. There's gonna do a budget 101 on July 22nd. It hasn't been announced yet, but you guys are getting the first hearing of it, July 22nd.
Thank you.
What time?
What time, you know?
5:30 to 7.
5:30 to 7. On the 22nd.
Yes, at the 9th Street at the Commission Chambers.
At 9th Street. Okay, you got all that? Write it down, memorize it. Okay.
We'll be sending it out.
5:30 to 7.
Any other public comments out there in the public? Okay, I'm gonna make one public comment, Mike Ryder, citizen. I wanted to let everybody know that the GID does have an opening on a Monday for a building. First Monday of the month, if it can't happen here, we'd rather it happen here, the cab would be at home. But if not, we can go back to the same place the seniors meet and have it there on Monday night, at the park. At the center there, but that's only, I talked to the GM just as a contingency, just in case we couldn't get Hobies to cover. I wanted to know we had an option so that we don't lose a meeting place and a venue for us to have this meeting. So we do have a backup if necessary, but it's gonna be only necessary because we'd rather be here at Hobies. Anybody else want to make a public comment? That's the end of mine. All right, now we're into the most important item on the list. Item number 10. Who wants to?
I move we adjourn. I second.
And Mary second.
Future agenda item?
That's not on the agenda, although we take those kind of on. Anyway, we are all in favor? Aye, we're adjourned. Now I can talk off the record. Yeah, we do all those